boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
I haven't seen Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know.
This fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement.
Floyd Mayweather has once again sent shockwaves through the boxing world, this time by calling out Jake Paul after Gervonta Tank Davis's fight was cancelled due to his ongoing legal issues. Mayweather says he's ready to step in himself and face Jake, not in an exhibition, but in a real, professional fight. He also made it clear he won't move up in weight, insisting the bout would follow standard boxing rules. The announcement has fans buzzing, wondering if Floyd is truly preparing for a serious comeback to the ring.
But at the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. Is he someone you're interested in or no?
Well, you know, if you go back, you got to do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's.
Because of the lawsuit and the active investigation surrounding Davis, his much-anticipated exhibition match with Jake Paul has officially been cancelled. Most Valuable Promotions, Jake's company, released a statement confirming that it would not move forward with the event under these circumstances.
Know the situation. It was supposed to be boxing Gervonta Tank Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the plug on that fight. It says, here's a tweet I'm reading from Mike Coppinger. As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring magazine that December 12th and the 19th.
The legal trouble stems from a civil lawsuit filed by Davis's former girlfriend, Courtney Rossell, over an alleged incident at a Miami nightclub on October 27. The filing accuses Davis of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and emotional distress, claiming he assaulted and dragged her through several parts of the venue, including the stairwell, kitchen, and parking garage. Miami Gardens police have confirmed there's also an active criminal investigation running alongside the civil case.
Boxing champion Gervonta Tank Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Rossell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Rossell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami on.
MMA analyst Chael Sonnen recently shared that he personally contacted both sides to confirm whether the Paul-Davis fight was really cancelled. According to Sonnen, neither Jake's team nor Davis's camp gave him a straight answer, a silence he found telling. He suggested that when both parties avoid denying cancellation rumors, it usually means serious issues are unfolding behind the scenes. Sonnen hinted the situation may involve legal and promotional complications, not just scheduling problems.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. my skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like, these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in. I want to say it was like 8.
With Davis sidelined, Floyd Mayweather has stepped into the spotlight, directly challenging Jake Paul. Mayweather hasn't held back in his assessment of Jake's boxing skills. While he admits Paul has brought excitement and attention to the sport, Floyd insists he doesn't view him as a legitimate boxer. He's described a potential matchup as too easy, claiming Jake wouldn't pose a real challenge. In Floyd's view, Paul's popularity comes from spectacle, not skill, and facing a true world champion would reveal the gap in his technique and experience.
There are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents? Or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
Mayweather has also pointed out that Jake Paul tends to fight older or smaller opponents, questioning the level of competition he's faced so far. He's praised Paul's marketing talent and entertainment value, but warned that a fight against a real elite boxer would expose his limitations. Fans have long criticized Floyd for avoiding rematches in his own career, but many agree that his comments about Jake's matchups hold some truth.
Second question is just with like Logan Paul and then Jake Paul now fighting Mike soon in the summer. What do you think defines a real boxer? Because I feel like people are still confused on if Jake Paul is a YouTuber boxer or a real boxer. How do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Many boxing analysts believe what truly made Mayweather great wasn't just his defense or speed, it was his mindset. Fighters like Tony Jeffries have noted that Floyd's self-belief and psychological control gave him an edge long before the first punch was thrown. That mental toughness, they say, was what allowed him to dominate opponents and remain undefeated throughout his career.
They're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
Now, if you watch his fight in 2013 when he fought Canelo Alvarez Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of shit. And
recent reports also suggest that Mayweather might be exploring a fight with Mike Tyson, a move analysts say is about more than money. They believe Floyd is once again asserting his dominance over boxing's spotlight, proving that even in retirement, he can still command global attention. With the Jake Paul vs. Davis drama unfolding, Mayweather seems determined not to let anyone, not even his protege, steal the limelight. It's classic Floyd, always competing, always relevant, and always in control of the narrative in a sport that never stops evolving.
So many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether